Oh, I look different without a hat, don't I?
Yes.
I just looked up and went, who's
You have a
that?
forehead.
Oh, that's me.
Nobody knew.
The forehead of Tom. Welcome to the Tom Barnard Show Family Podcast with
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Andy Brant Barnard.
And Kristen Burt.
and Kristen Bird Entertainment News, brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Yeah, I was just telling Catherine, I went for, yesterday I walked 8 miles.
That's amazing.
Miles.
Jude made you walk too.
Oh, he definitely walked too.
And we decided to
Definitely.
walk up to the outlet mall and try out a restaurant called BJ's
Oh, is it good?
Restaurant. It is
Really
a
good.
chain. And he walked the whole way. Like
He did.
He knew he was going to a restaurant. He's got kind of a bad leg, and he's an older dog, so
Yeah.
generally he doesn't want to walk that far. But he was on a mission.
He certainly was. Get that chow from the restaurant. There's no question about it.
He didn't get any chow,
But I did.
He didn't
No, he
know
did
that.
not. No, he did not get any chow. But yeah. So basically, it was a very nice experience. We haven't had a lot of bad restaurant experiences down here. Not that I remember, anyway.
I don't think bad restaurants last very long anymore.
Probably
People,
true.
It's just
That's
too
probably true.
expensive to go to a restaurant, and if
Yep.
you go and you have one bad meal, you're just not going to go back.
Yep.
Indeed.
And word of mouth spreads quickly, too, about restaurants.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
it does.
Andy said that he went to a Red Robin.
Yeah.
There's a Red Robin up there and a Zaxby's. I think Zaxby's is chicken. Has
Yeah.
anybody heard of any of these places?
Zaxby's.
Red Robin has been around for a long time.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't know we had any in Minnesota, but we do apparently have one.
Sorry, I was a little. I was about a minute or two late getting in here because I got a couple of phone calls. There's this big story going. I think the woman is from California, but I'm not sure. And they asked me if I had seen it, and they, because they want to talk about mental health and all the rest of it. There's this woman, and I think she's in Northern California, but I'm not sure of that, who videotaped herself saying, and then she released the videotape of herself saying,
Videotape.
I have got to do something. Yeah, videotape. Yeah, exactly.
I say that, too. Don't worry.
Exactly. It's easier to say, well, the AI and whatever. But anyway, she videotaped herself and sent out the videotape to everybody. She has 3 kids. I don't know, 3 different guys. Somebody told me. I don't know. I don't care. But she went on national. Everybody needed to know this, so I assume the woman's probably mentally ill, so somebody should help her. She said on social media that she is so afraid of the world and where the world is now that she was going to kill her children to keep them safe from ICE.
Well, I hope that
I don't know if safe is the right word.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe not.
Human Services steps in there and.
The only reason I
help.
bring this up is because it's so depressing. The news has got to stop doing this to people. Obviously, the woman's mentally ill. She has to be, right?
Yes.
Stop, and that's both sides. I'm not talking about one side or the other, but these national news organizations are helping to destroy the world just for money so they can get ratings. I mean, this woman is thinking about, I'm hoping they caught up with her by now.
oh yeah, here we go. I found the story.
Oh, you got the story.
The TikTok video. She said
Sad.
She said she'd rather take herself and her children out than have ICE get to them.
Oh, God. Now, what individual, Kristen, the last time ICE came after you, how did that work out?
It's just scary. I mean, I think
It's very scary.
Scary.
her mental health obviously is not well. And I also
Right.
think that what we're seeing on TV sometimes for some people, it's stressful. It's stressful what's happening in our country, and it's stressful when people who have mental illness
Yep.
then are processing the information.
Do you think, Kristen Burt, that we'll ever get to the point where both sides should take some blame and we try to meet in the middle? Wouldn't that be nice?
I think the whole system has to collapse.
I agree.
I think the whole system's going to have to collapse before we rebuild.
Okay, well, I just wanted to mention that, please. I just, hopefully, Andy, does it say anything? Did they get to this woman? I mean, she needs to go to the hospital. There's no question.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it's just so sad. I remember that time Mom opened fire on you, Andy, and I luckily
Okay,
stepped.
all right. That's not even funny.
Well, I'm just trying to lighten the moment because it's so goddamn depressing.
Don't throw
the
me
problem.
under the bus.
Okay, we'll throw you under the bus.
We'll have people at the door in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like, knock,
absolutely.
knock.
No, thank you.
Yeah, let's not do that. I'll give updates on the Savannah Guthrie case. I feel like we can't ignore it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right, the missing mother. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
friend Joyce is very upset about this because this is really close to where her mom used to live and her sister lives now.
Oh, in the Tucson area then.
Yes.
Yeah, and anyone who's been to Tucson, it's a beautiful area. It's pretty
Yeah, it
sleepy,
is.
pretty quiet. I mean, maybe this time of year it's a little bit more buzzy because there's snowbirds there. But I mean, other than
Yeah.
that, it's a pretty sleepy area. But I think that there's been a lot of news because Ashley Banfield went on and said, hey, I heard from sources that they are looking at the son-in-law. That's Tommaso Cioni, who is Annie Guthrie's husband. Annie Guthrie is Savannah's sister. They were the last people to see Nancy Guthrie alive because they went out to dinner with her on Saturday night, dropped her off somewhere between 9:30 p.m., 9:45 p.m. Arizona time. The investigators, though, have said we have no suspects, zero. So they're not confirming anything. But there is a report that their car has been impounded, which, you know, in most crime cases, the last people to see the person alive,
Sure.
of course, are going to be suspects or at least looked at closely. But they're not naming any suspects at that time. So I would say, like, probably keep that on a simmer.
Yeah.
Right now, but I mean, we're on day 4 at this point. Savannah Guthrie, not surprisingly, has withdrawn from covering the Olympics. She was supposed to be
Right.
on opening ceremony Friday night. There's no way she would ever be in Milan with everything going on, but she does have a pacemaker, Nancy. She does have heart medication that she needs to take. That is life-threatening if she's not taking her medication. So it's really distressing, honestly.
It probably won't be too long until we start seeing something like an implantable AirTag that they can like put under the skin of people that like might be at flight risk or whatever, like people who
Not
might
a
go
bad
missing
idea.
a lot.
Not a bad idea.
And I mean, yeah, it's
Got microchips for dogs and cats.
And cats,
That's right.
yeah.
Microchips
I mean-
are trackers, though. They're identifiers, but you can't track pets with those.
But with Nancy, they knew that she was kidnapped somewhere around 2 a.m. because her pacemaker separated from her Apple Watch and her phone. So her phone and her Apple Watch were left in the house. So they said she was taken against her will. There was blood on the doorstep that they saw. So they know that it was a kidnapping of some sort.
It's just terrible. I thought usually the kidnappers by day 3 were demanding things. You know,
Well,
money
there's
or
been 2
whatever.
weird ransoms. One was sent to TMZ and another one was sent to another media outlet. I'm not sure which one. They're looking into it, but right now they haven't been able to say, like, hey, this is actually credible. The one sent to TMZ was asking for money via crypto.
Really?
Oh, that's not good.
And also, one other thing to note is that NBC has also amped up security around 30 Rockefeller Center just in case it is somehow tied to Savannah being a journalist. Savannah was heavily on the Epstein case and doing interviews with some of the survivors. There's just like a lot of theories, and I will just say theories in play. Of course, the conspiracy theorists have, run away with all of this, but it's just scary, I think, when you think of an 84-year-old woman snatched from her bed in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a lot we have got to do something about. We can't rule the world, but the United States needs to step up and do something about the hatred. The hatred in this country is at an all-time high. Although there's one funny side to the hatred, and that would be about 90% of the NFL players, especially the ones in the Super Bowl, do not want Bad Bunny anywhere near them.
That was one random
No,
NFL
it was
player,
not.
anonymous.
No, it was not. They're all speaking up now. 'Cause as of this morning, they're all speaking. They don't want him on the halftime show.
Bad Bunny is an incredible musician. I
Is
don't
he?
understand. He's
Yeah.
incredible. I mean, and
Very
he won
political,
3
though.
Grammys this past week. For anyone who doesn't want him, it's just insane because it doesn't make any sense. He's Puerto Rican. He's an American. He is one of the biggest global artists. And the NFL purposely contracted him for the
Right.
halftime because they are trying to attract a global audience to football. And anyone who doesn't understand that at this point, is probably going to hate the NFL moving forward because the NFL
Probably.
wants to go well beyond an American audience.
Why don't we just serve the people that built the NFL? How about that? Those would be American citizens.
There's billions and billions of dollars at stake.
It's all about money.
It's
Well, it is.
Yep.
And you know, for Bad Bunny, he doesn't get paid for this. He does not get paid. And, you know, for him, it's about music sales and obviously future concert tours or anything else like that.
I mean,
but
I didn't know who he was before all of this. You didn't
He's
know who he was
huge.
before all of this.
I still don't.
Well, I mean, you know who he
Is
is.
he a
now.
rapper?
no,
Oh, he's not a rapper. Okay.
not a rapper.
This is
Maybe
how-
I will listen
his
to him then.
music, like honestly, you know, I don't know if you can you pull up one of his songs, Andy?
I wouldn't want to. No. YouTube is very aggressive about that sort of
About
thing.
you'll get a strike. I would say like a lot of his music has a real like Puerto Rican or I would say Caribbean island vibe. Like when you go on vacation, that music that you're like dancing to, that is Bad Bunny's music. A lot
I
of
don't
the
think about
lyrics are in Spanish. I think that's probably where some people are strange and have an opposition to it. But I will tell you that the beat makes you want to get up and dance. It's great.
Well, that's good. Well, yeah, it's interesting. The timing of my life is really, really odd because there's a woman who works in this building. She's one of the cleaners, you know, takes care of making sure the lobby looks good and all that stuff. I don't know his mom or dad or whatever, but one was Puerto Rican and one was Cuban. And to talk to her about the blending of those two, you know, societies, they're pretty close. We've been to both Puerto Rico and Cuba. But she is such a nice person, but it's what's really funny, she does not like most people. I don't know. For some reason, I hit it off with her just fine, and we talk, and she's a very nice person. But yeah, it just, that whole culture should be. Well, don't you think that's Fidel Castro's fault though that they hadn't been included up until recently? Castro's one that made it very dangerous in that area. There's no doubt about that.
I mean, Bad Bunny's Puerto Rican. He's American, so
No, I'm
Like,
not talking about.
yeah,
I'm talking about the places itself, not him. I'm talking about the places. We've been to both Puerto Rico and Cuba. Had a great time at both places. Don't go to Cuba if you don't like chicken, though. I will tell you that.
Yeah, that's what they got.
That's what they got is chicken.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of resources in Cuba.
No. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'll listen to Bad Bunny and see if does it even lean toward rap?
no.
Yeah, oh, good. 'Cause
I would say it's
cannot
like
stand it.
to me, it reminds me of like island dance music.
Ooh, I like that.
Like when you're on vacation and you're like sipping your pina colada and the band comes up and you're like, I'm on
I just-
vacation, I'm gonna dance.
I just think that everybody has celebrity fatigue with
Yeah,
their
maybe.
whining and bitching and complaining. Like this whole Billie
Eilish.
Eilish
Billie
thing that her $14 million mansion is actually on tribal land, and it's
Yeah,
like
I know.
you know. I mean, they're just such hypocrites. It's like, oh, everybody else needs to do this and do that,
Not
but
me.
I live on in a $14 million mansion, and I'm on tribal land, and that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
just
the tribe
shut
itself-
up for
The
once.
tribe itself put out a statement. They were like, good effort, but maybe mention the name of the tribe whose land you live on next time.
You know, I got to say one thing before we move on because this is your fault, Kristen.
How
right
is it my
here.
fault? I'm telling everyone to go listen to one of Bad Bunny's songs in the chat.
But you just brought back a great memory for me. And Tommy O'Brien, a dear friend of mine, listens to this show. He usually posts. He'll probably be on the post at some point. But his mother was born in Puerto Rico. Met his father when he was an FBI agent. I don't know. He's going through some business down in Puerto Rico, I guess. But Deadina Purcell was her name. One of the most genuinely wonderful, just a sweetheart of a woman. But the one thing that she did when she transferred over to talking mostly English instead of Puerto Rican, every time somebody'd piss her off, she'd go, "Kiss my ass, Vita."
Good for her.
I just, Deadina, we miss
up.
you, my dear Mrs. O'Brien. God, she was just a wonderful person. Now you made me sad. Way to go, Kristen.
Oh, way to go. It's all
Wow.
my fault.
Exactly. No, it's wonderful. It really is a wonderful thing. So what else is happening, sister?
I think the other hot topic has been daytime television. We've been talking a lot about late night TV, but
Yeah,
daytime is
yeah.
also now in free fall. Kelly Clarkson, by her own choice, is not coming back after season 7, which will wrap up. I think she'll have new episodes through the fall of 2026. But her ex-husband passed away from cancer, so she's going to kind of focus on her kids right now. Because there was a lot of drama. She and her ex-husband had this massive divorce that was like brutal and awful, and then he died from skin cancer like a year later.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He dragged her through courts for like 3 years.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then he died. And so obviously her focus is on her family. So she's gone, and she's kind of like the number one in daytime. But then they just canceled the Sherry Shepherd show. So that kind of leaves Drew Barrymore. That leaves, who else am I missing? Oh, Jennifer Hudson, which I think is probably on the cusp of getting canceled. And then you have Kelly Ripa and The View. So really kind of interesting how that's going to play out and how the affiliates are going to fill that time.
Who's watching this stuff? I
Yeah,
mean,
good
I've
question.
never even heard of half of the people that you just mentioned.
Kelly Ripa and Mark have done very well. The View continues to be kind of like a steady show. But I don't know if people sit at home and watch daytime talk shows anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, yuck.
Probably not. Yeah, they probably don't.
Yeah, I think that it would be nice if some celebrities could just stop complaining all the time and just
That'd be nice.
Have some positive messaging other than listen to my stuff, watch my shows, I make money. It's
Right.
time. I
But
think,
they're
for
not
everyone.
making money. That's the thing. Like if you watch any online ad, you're like, it is every celebrity. It's not the average Joe actor anymore doing commercials because they're not making money anymore because streamers don't pay residuals the way broadcast network shows do.
They don't.
You're only doing like 8 episodes. Yeah, you're getting minimal residuals from Netflix and Apple and Peacock. So actually, the Golden Goose is still doing a network TV show because you're going to get 22 episodes. You're going to still get those residuals. Those contracts between streaming and like an NBC contract are so different. And so now if you have, let's just say you have 2 homes, you've got, cars to pay off, like you were living a lifestyle that you could afford, but now with streaming being prominent, you don't have that same lifestyle anymore. So what do? You turn to commercials and doing endorsements or starting up a lifestyle line. That's another big one. Or an alcohol line. Everyone is suddenly Martha Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's got a vitamin they want to sell you.
Absolutely.
meme right now
Everybody.
on the in the culinary world, there's a meme right now going around about the Paris Hilton kitchen knife set, and if it's a good buy for your professional kitchen.
Oh my God, Paris Hilton! I can't imagine her even cooking. Does she? Does she
Yeah.
have a
She had a
cooking
cooking
now?
show that was actually very hilarious because
Really?
Paris Hilton, I've interviewed her twice now, and she is a absolute delight, which is so shocking to me because you see her image and you're like, oh my gosh, she's an airhead. When you
Yeah.
interview her, she's not talking like this. She's like, hi, I'm Paris Hilton. And you're like, wait, what?
Whoa.
And she's super smart and she's super sharp and so different than like the public persona she puts on.
Huh.
Andy Jacobson says, watch Celebrity Wife Swap. They live in average, modest homes when you think they have so much money. But are they staged in average, modest homes so that
Is this
people
a
aren't
second
like,
modest home?
or is it really their
Yeah, there
home?
you go.
I mean, I think you have your like top tier celebrities that made their money like 90s to early 2000s. So you're going to have like, of course, your George Clooney's, Julia Roberts, Matt Damon's, Ben Affleck, that type of thing. Even musicians who came up in that era. But after, I'm going to say about 2010, there's definitely a drop off in wealth in terms like, and they're not going to get those back end deals anymore where you're making a ton of money, where you can afford to have probably 5 homes around the globe. That doesn't exist anymore or exists for very few people.
So who's making the money?
The tech's making the money because tech came, like, think about this. Tech came and disrupted entertainment, and entertainment has never been the same.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true.
that's very, very true. No question about it.
Charlie wanted you to, and I saw this too, a report that says film students don't have the attention span to sit through movies.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
a film student, I mean, wouldn't you want to sit through a movie as a film student?
Well, that's
probably
interesting.
not.
Show you the problem. You
That's
ready?
interesting considering the movies are all so long now.
This is the
There is
problem.
that.
They
I mean,
It is
cannot-
that
So they can't stay off their phones. That's the big
Yeah.
problem.
No, they
It's 100% technology, and I think that you'll see a lot of film students probably going to vertical videos because vertical films because you can make 1 minute films. They're
Yep.
watching TikTok. They're making brand deals. Like a lot of film students are really getting a lot of money from just going into branding because corporations are like, well, we need a filmmaker to create our brand story. And that's where journalists are going too, because they're writing scripts for brands now. Because the Gap just created a whole entertainment division. And I think everyone in journalism and everyone in film is going to start gravitating there because there'll be money there. And you'll also see the creativity there.
Huh. Well, but to Mom's point, I mean,
Yeah.
there is the fact that film students are going to be watching a lot of Oscar bait kind of movies. And those kind of movies are like 2.5, 3 hours long. And it's like,
So long.
no one has ever had the patience to sit through a 3 hour long movie about like a sad clown trying to grow a rose. In the
Yeah.
Andy, who was the guy that just posted that he cannot support his family?
Oh,
And he just signed a
On a
$21 million
$21
contract.
if he said that, Latrell's
Latrell's.
whoever that is.
Brewell, who's that?
Yeah, he's a pretty famous guy, actually.
Is what
He's
did
a
he do?
basketball player, isn't he?
Basketball. Oh.
He couldn't support his family because he's only got $21 million.
Well, after taxes, he's only got 10 and a half.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You know.
There you go. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
at least I got the right sport. He is a basketball player. He used to play
Right.
for
He
Golden
is.
State Warriors, New York Knicks, and Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep.
Well, let's see. He started to strangle a woman on a yacht, and then he got sued for $200 million, and then his yacht was repossessed.
Oh, so some bad decision making.
His home went into foreclosure. So I don't think it was the contract that was the problem. He owes Wisconsin $3.5 million in unpaid income taxes
Oh,
as of 2011. So he probably paid them by now. But yeah,
Anybody else would be in jail.
Yes.
he got $3.5 million. You'd be
Yeah,
in
you'd
a
be
black
in
site
jail.
somewhere underground.
Yep. If he wasn't a
What a world.
basketball player, he'd be in jail.
See, now I have proof that could never happen to me because if I said I couldn't support my family on $21 million, I better not fall asleep. I'll tell you that. There'd be this redhead woman. She's like 5'10", something like that.
$21 million.
Seriously.
I mean, that's bad financial planning. That's not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why the NFL, if you're a rookie, they give you a whole financial seminar now because people were going bankrupt so early in their careers, and
Right.
a lot of the average NFL player is it 3 or 4 years? I think we looked it up one time, Andy. It's very, very short. It's not a
Yes.
long time for the average player, not the
Right.
Tom Brady's of the lot.
Time for what? Their career or time to bankruptcy?
The average, the average length of their career.
Good question.
Okay.
Let's see. Average
both.
NBA career length. What are we looking at? About 4.5 years.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was short. So if you're coming
Well-
out of college, hopefully you made money in college too. That's the other thing because they can make money now.
Well, we have an area in southern Florida here. It's out kind of in the bayou-y sort of area, and a lot of football players come from there. And it's a pretty low working class, maybe even poor area. And when you come from, just barely scraping by, and all of a sudden you get these big contracts, you think that's all the money in the world.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why they don't escrow the money for them and dole it out or something so
Yeah,
that
they
they
seriously
can't
should.
so they can't just destroy their lives because they really have no idea that you can spend $20 million. Nowadays
Yep.
you can. Used to
If
be
you
you
try.
couldn't unless you bought a skyscraper or something. But now you can buy a condo in West Palm Beach on the Intercoastal, not even on the ocean, for $40 to $75 million. I mean, you
Sure.
can buy a condo for that kind of money.
Well, and think
Yeah.
about it. What if you have a $2 million a year contract after you pay taxes, your lawyer, your agent, your manager, you've
Yes.
already half of your money is already gone.
Yeah,
Probably more than
Absolutely.
that, 55,
Yeah.
60%.
Right. But they still think that, this contract is. And that's where they just go wrong because you have to parse out that kind of money, and especially after only 4 to 5 years.
And,
mean,
there's a lifestyle too that you kind of have to present. And I don't say you have to, but they feel obligated to, in terms of clothing, cars. And it happens even when actresses are kind of like up and coming. They may not be making the money, but they're like, I have to have my hair and makeup done. I have to have this outfit. And if you don't have someone that's constantly working with you, your money is going out the window fast.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Unfortunately, that is the truth. Man, watching people piss money away is such, because in the radio business, obviously, and television and voiceover and all that stuff, I worked with a lot of people that made a lot of money, and most of them, I would say 90% of them, pissed it all away.
Because you think that the money is always going to be flowing like that.
That's correct. That's
And I'm a
exactly
saver,
right.
so I kind of like, I'm always like, what if this is the last big check I ever get? Like, I'm the opposite of that, but I understand too, because I'm here in Hollywood. People just think that the money is endless, and it's not.
Did you just call yourself the savior? Is that what you said?
I'm a saver.
Oh, I thought you said savior.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I'm
good.
not a savior. I am a saver, though.
Yeah.
You know, someone's a
Yeah.
saver, someone's a spender. I'm a saver.
Well, here we go. I just plugged this in. I asked. So Shohei Ohtani, pretty famously gigantic contract, $700 million over 10 years.
700 million.
So after taxes, agent fees, and so forth, of that $700 million, he will receive about $200 million.
Wow.
$500 million?
$500 million goes to everyone but him before it goes to him.
Oh, God.
Well, it's like selling
Yep.
a house.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, by the
yeah.
time everybody's chomping at your profits, you don't get much. And then you
Yep.
still have to pay capital gains on it. It's just
Yep.
so unfair.
Or
Yes,
a
it
court
is.
case. You know, a lot of
Yes.
money goes to the lawyers and taxes, and
Yeah,
you're
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is unfortunate. Also unfortunate is the fact that you have to leave again. We just walk out right in the middle of the show.
Door. Just to let everyone know, Man on the Inside got renewed for season 3. I love that
good.
show on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I find
that's
Ted
good
Danson
show.
to be a delight in that show. And The Muppet Show is on tonight. They're doing a special on ABC. And yes, Sabrina Carpenter, Seth Rogen, Maya Rudolph, and it's already getting great reviews. So if someone's looking for joy and happiness, they said this particular special
Love it.
kind of leans toward the old school classic Muppet Show.
It's one of those deals again. You just did it to me again by mentioning that show. First thing I thought in my head was Cookie.
You'll get a little bit of Kermit and Miss Piggy.
Yeah, Kermit and Miss. I loved that show. It was a great show.
Such a good one.
No question. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I will be here tomorrow. See y'all
We look
later.
forward to it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Before we go to break, I got to say, she is so great to work with, isn't she,
She is.
Kristen?
I would say
She's a
so. Well, we've been
delight.
working with her for almost 14 years, so
14 years.
you'd hope she'd be good to work with.
Yeah, after all this time,
Yeah,
finally.
I mean, what I love about her is you can tell that she doesn't agree with everything that's being said, but she doesn't get all riled up and upset about it. She's just like, well, that's how you think, and that's she's just even keel. I like.
Yeah,
her.
she's very
We need
even
more
keel.
people that are even keel.
A very nice person on top of it. Don't you think?
I think so.
I'm glad you
Larry
both
Allen in
said
the
that.
chat. Professional sports teams should be obligated to take better care of their athletes by supplying financial advisors and long-term pay
Yep.
options over 30 years. They
Yep.
literally should be required to
I
pay their
agree.
athletes over like an amortization schedule or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no
I-
Like,
question.
I mean, you pay a 20-year-old kid $20 million.
Yeah.
Even if you portion that out for 20 years, he's still making $1 million a year until he's 40. And at that point, you think maybe he would be a little more financially responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Well, I
like,
guess that's the other thing is that, they come from, a lot of them come from nothing. They get this great big huge contract and they
Yep.
think they're going to play for 10 to 15 years. They don't realize that they could get hurt next year and be out.
yeah.
well, like we said, 4.5 years average career.
Yeah.
Not everyone is going to be Michael Jordan, And even if they are, how long was Michael Jordan's career? It still was probably not that long, really.
Relatively, you're absolutely right. He did have a long NBA career, but compared to other things, it's not that
Yeah.
not that long.
NBA career, 15 seasons in total. So next year, this podcast will have lasted as long as Michael Jordan's NBA career.
There you
Think
go.
about it that way.
Haven't scored as much, but that's a different
You
argument.
don't know what I do. I might be the best basketball player on earth. I just don't
Okay.
talk about it.
Well, you're probably right. All right, let's take a break. Be right back. Got a couple special guests. They're both. Are they in studio or on the? Are they?
I'm pretty sure are coming in. They asked for the address, so I would assume they're
Watch
coming.
those parking spaces.
Yes, make sure they don't park.
Yep, I know.
Doesn't matter what you tell them. You
can't.
got to check on them.
That's
All right.
true.
We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. JT Thompson and Steve Patterson will join us right after this. Somebody running for governor. There you go. We'll be right back. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Let's take a second to talk about my bank. That would be, of course, North American Banking Company. As a business owner, you're always looking for opportunities to grow, and that's where North American Banking Company can help. Their business banking team offers tailored solutions, whether you're expanding your team, opening a new location, or upgrading equipment. Because they're locally owned, loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities, which means faster approvals and more flexibility to meet your needs. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabankco.com to learn more. Oh, Andy's rocking out, man.
Whoa.
Charlie, I was thinking about the HOA letter you received, KB. How's that going? Well, I haven't gotten any cease and desist orders, so I
That's
think
good.
we're okay for now. And
So we have Steve Patterson with us. He said JT got hung up somewhere, huh?
Yeah, he had a VA appointment today, so
Okay.
that just ran late. I guess that's kind of common for them. So yeah, it'll just be me today.
okay.
Well, aren't you the one running for governor anyway?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, it's kind of the important deal. I mean, JT, I'm sure, is a fine guy, but the important guy in this is you're running for governor.
Yeah, I ran in 2022. Not a lot of people know that. I was on the ballot. I got around 22,000 votes
Oh,
with a $500 budget. So I didn't even register.
that's
Didn't
phenomenal.
anybody tell you you have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to get a political seat?
Well, this time I am taking donations. Last time I refused them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was the first time I had run for any political office, but I was frustrated with the COVID shutdowns. I had a brewery in Rochester that we were in the process of starting. It never actually got off the ground because of the mandates and everything else. So myself and my business partner, we lost $60,000
Yep.
on a project that never got to get off the ground. So I am a little bitter about that.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you didn't get any forgivable PPP loans like Nancy Pelosi?
I think she's got a little bit more pull than me, but no, because we run an open business, we didn't qualify for anything. So,
Oh.
yeah, so unlike the daycares in the area that are definitely open, definitely have plenty of kids going there, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to try it again because being a small business owner, I own Lansing Corners Bar and Grill over in Austin. We
Excellent.
do a lot of comedy shows and stuff over there. And then I have a coffee shop over in Zumbrota called Nature's Grind Coffee Company. And as a small business owner, especially with all of the new laws coming into place, thanks to my buddy Tim, with all the new sick and safe pay and,
Yep.
you know, the 20 weeks paid leave, all
Family
that
leave
stuff.
Crap. Yeah.
Basically, every change he's made and since I've been a business owner, has hurt small businesses. And so I've just gotten to the point where I'm kind of sick of hearing politicians say they're for small business when nothing they do is actually helpful.
Well, I've told the story before. My wife and we moved out to the country because we were, I was in downtown Minneapolis, and then I moved out to St. Louis Park, and then I moved out to Crystal, and now I'm even farther west than that. And I've just, kind of been getting as far away from the city as I possibly could over the course of the last 10 years. But after we moved out to where we are now, we kept trying to find like a hardware store that was close to us. And the closest hardware store out where we are is a good 15 minutes away. So it's like, sometimes I just need like a mending plate, and I don't really want to make that an hour-long journey to go get something that costs 75 cents. And we were like, maybe we should open a hardware store, because there's a lot of people in town. We talked to a lot of people in town. They all wanted a hardware store. They were like, please, for the love of God, open up a hardware store. And we actually got in contact with, we looked at locations. We were talking to Hardware Hank, I believe it was. We were going to franchise. We had plans drawn up and everything. We did the math. I actually, we got in contact with a builder. We got quotes and everything. And after I put all the numbers into a spreadsheet and I, subtracted all the various things, payroll taxes and that sort of thing, it was not physically possible for this business to make money.
Really?
I literally could not have made money no matter. If I had put in 16 hours a day, it still wouldn't have made money, because every hour I worked, I was actually losing money because of all the fees. You have to pay for every employee's everything at this point, even if they were only working for you for 5 hours a week. The small business, and like of all things, you'd think a hardware store would be like a no-brainer. It's a room full of tools that you're selling people, but nope, it's not possible to make work in Minnesota.
Yeah, our old neighbor, she had a an employment recruitment company, and she ended up closing it. She said it's just impossible to do business in Minnesota as a small business.
Yep.
It's just impossible. They just are. Their hands are in your pockets at all time. They regulate you to death. It costs so much money to have an employee that you can't. It used to be you could have a small business make about $250,000, $500,000 a year, and you could have a few employees, and everybody got paid well, and it was a nice situation. But now I don't even know what you have to make.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the hardware store could have worked if we had no employees, but we also have 2 young kids, so it's like, what do we do?
You got to have some time off, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
Steve, you're going to have
go
to
ahead.
save it. No, you're going to have to save us from all this stuff, Steve. I know exactly what they're talking about. The taxes in Minnesota are
Punishing.
incredibly punishing.
Yes.
Why? Why are they like that?
Well, I don't know. I used to joke and say that, when our quarterly taxes were due, they would look to see what was in our bank account and leave me like $20 for lunch and take the rest.
That's about it.
And for the first year, that was pretty accurate, making ends meet as a small business owner. I work open to close almost every day. I'm the cleaning crew. I'm the maintenance guy. I really don't get to outsource anything, and we make good money. We're busy all the time. So it's not that we're doing things wrong. We have highly rated businesses from consumers, but it's just unrealistic for me to say, I can take a few days off, go on a vacation, and pay somebody else to do what I do. I have great staff, and they can do anything I do, but they can't do everything that I do.
Right.
It's very, very time consuming. So
There you go.
So in 22, when I ran for governor, I was the grassroots legalized cannabis candidate. So that got legalized. And, I don't know. In the back of my head, I kind of say, well, it got legalized to keep me off the ballot. But but what we ended up doing, JT and I, we created a new political party. And so we're calling it the Moderate Majority Minnesota, because I believe that most people are pretty moderate. And I truly believe that, if everyone that voted knew about me, that, that I could get a sizable amount of votes. And so thank you for having me on and offering to have JT and I on, because just getting the message out there is almost impossible.
Oh, yeah.
And what is your
There's a
running?
newspaper in the area that I live in over in Austin. They did a news story on all 14 Republican candidates, and I hit him up and I was like, do you think you could just like give me like just any kind of publicity or just mention that I'm running? And they don't even tell me no. They don't even answer me.
Yep.
Don't even answer. Is Amy Klobuchar running for governor? Somebody
Yes.
told me
Yeah.
she is.
Yes.
Why would she do that?
Because she'll
Well,
win.
Well, because she's
I have my
a,
theory.
she's a rubber stamping DFL person. She'll
But I mean, why didn't she just stay in her office position now?
Well, in Minnesota, there are no special elections. So in a scenario where she could win governor, she could appoint Tim to her position.
Oh, that's what it
Notice
is.
that, Tim cleverly said, I'm not running for office anymore, but if someone just happened to just give him a job, I bet he would take it,
I know exactly what you're saying. It's so amazing about that is I used to be on the phone with her father all the time. Jim Klobuchar used to write for the Star Tribune. And Jim would go home and have a couple of cocktails, and then he'd call me and start bitching at me about everything I said on the air at the KQ Morning Show that day. And I have run into Amy Klobuchar 3 times, but she will not even make eye contact with me. She won't even look at me. She knows I'm there, but she won't make eye contact with me. It's like, Amy, calm down.
She's not well liked, I know.
Oh, she's not?
Within the system, because she has a lot of staff turnover. There's lots of lots of stories about her throwing things and tantruming and belittling people. But yet somehow she just has this, persona that people from Minnesota just think. I think it's the legacy name. Her dad was in journalism forever. And she's been in politics, for 20 some odd years at least. So she's probably, going to be in politics for the rest of her life, I wouldn't doubt. But what's your running mate's deal? I mean, what is he?
Yeah, so JT, he's a retired Army Ranger. Well respected in that field from his colleagues. And then he also owns Lucky Penny Garage, which is like a car restoration business. So he, is a small business owner as well. He's also a lead singer of a band, JT and the Gunslingers. They were, in 2020, they were nominated for some Midwest Country Music Awards and some different things. And then, obviously bars close so that he doesn't have venues to play in, and so that, kind of motivated him to join me in this, I guess, a new political party, but a new adventure for us anyway.
I tell you something, honest to God, Steve, you got our audience fired up now, Pally. We're getting a lot of, why wouldn't you be in politics for life in Minnesota if you're a Democrat? You won't have to work a day in your life. That's what it says.
Just grift off the people.
I'm trying not to read the comments. So.
I know. I have there was a video. I did not save it, but there has been a video going around on social media about, and I wish I knew who was saying it, but they were talking about Minnesota elections and how the state takes all of the votes that aren't from Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they count them first, and then they magically always have more votes than they need. To win the election.
Yep.
And I think it's Steve Bannon. Is that the right person? Steve Bannon.
There's a Steve Bannon, I know that.
That he's somehow involved in this. I'm not saying he is or if he isn't, but that's just that's something that's going. I know there's a lot of conspiracy things going on right now because, everybody's trying to figure out how the heck everything is so screwed up in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like these barriers that they're setting up, and they're checkpoints in Minneapolis where you can't go past them unless you show somebody, and they're running your license plates. Like, how is this even legal? Jesus. Why is this allowed?
If you look at, people want to criticize Donald Trump, and I don't love everything that Donald does. Mm-hmm. But if you look specifically at ICE and the Department of Homeland Security, Donald controls 50 states, and Tim Walz controls one state, and there's only one state that's having all these issues.
That's correct.
Right, and so You know, I mean, it's like they want anarchy, but they really don't want anarchy. You know, I mean, there
Well,
has to be
got
some
it.
kind of rules. But when authority goes unchecked, you know, that's where, you know, it kind of tips the scale in the other direction. So,
Yes.
you know, JT and I, you know, we are pro-immigration. We are anti-illegal immigration. That should be a pretty simple concept to grasp, but
Yep.
people can't really seem to grasp it. I mean, immigration has brought us Olympic athletes. It's brought us, you know, to Rochester, some of the best doctors in the world, you know. So, yeah,
Sure.
immigration is great.
Yeah, but the
But
media
we-
conflates it intentionally,
Yes.
illegal and legal immigration, because they want you to think that it's all immigration
Right.
that the Republicans are anti.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's no country in the world that has open borders. You know, if you cross
Right.
from go into the United States, when you try to go back into Mexico, they'll say, "What are you doing here?" You know,
Yeah.
just unchecked. You know, I mean, you know, they want to check your car. They want to see why you're here. You know, try to go to Canada, try to go fishing. You know, any country wants to know why you're here, and
Sure.
you know, I think the process could be a little easier. You know, and if people can prove that they're in the process of trying to become a citizen, like maybe we can give them a break. But you know, having totally open borders for 4 years, you know, created a mess.
It
And-
sure did.
You know, running for governor of Minnesota, it's like, you know, people say, well, why do you want to do it? And I was like, well, I really don't want to do it. You know, it's like taking out the trash. Like I don't feel like taking out the trash, but it stinks. You know?
Yeah.
And if I'm going to live here and be a business owner for another 30 or 40 years, it needs to be better.
No, I agree with that. We do need to take a quick break. You can stay for the rest of the show. I hope we got about another 20, 25 minutes. You can
Yeah,
do
I got
that?
plenty of time. Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to point out. Well, actually, I shouldn't say I'd like to point out because it was texted to me just now. He said, you should tell Steve that 40 years ago, you got Mark Rosen 60,000 votes when he ran for governor.
Oh, that's right.
Remember Mark Rosen for governor? He got 60,000 votes.
I think I wrote his jingle.
I think you did write his jingle. Mark Rosen for governor. So we can go, Steve Patterson for governor. We can get that done again, man. No question about it. We'll take a break. Be right back a couple minutes more with Steve right after this.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. That's a signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the automotive twilight zone, one without sedans.
Is it really otherworldly that crossover and sport utilities have replaced sedans? I asked Brett Paul of the Valley Group of GM dealerships.
When you consider ease of entry, visibility, cargo space, and of course all-wheel drive traction, it really shouldn't be a surprise.
But what about things like style, comfort, luxury, and technology?
GMC has been refining this class of vehicles probably longer than any manufacturer. The new GMCs make sedans and minivans, the mom jeans, or black and white TVs of people haulers.
So what are the current GMC crossover and sport utility offerings?
See our sensibly priced Terrains, Acadias, and Yukons at Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Valley GMC in Hastings.
A fifth dimension, beyond human knowledge, a place between light and shadow. The
Well,
known.
no, not really.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Paul. I miss Jim Paul. I only see him about once a year now. What the hell's that?
Give him a call.
He's a great guy. That was him on the screen just now. Jim Paul's been a friend of mine for, God, it's probably been 40 years. It's time for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. It's very, very important. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is a place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care-focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally. I've talked about that before. Both generations, as a matter of fact, involved. I've known them for, God, it's got to be well over 40 years. They're a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They are the best staffed memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. And they are my friends. Otherwise, I wouldn't say that. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. Ooh, there's some fast drumming.
Now that is high energy. It's called binary beatdown.
Binary beatdown?
God.
That's
Not
nice.
the greatest name.
No, it's not. It's not I've ever heard. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Patterson in studio. JT Thompson couldn't make it. What did he get locked up? What happened?
Yeah, he had a VA appointment, and it was supposed to be over at 10 o'clock, and he hasn't updated me. I think he's still there.
Sounds about right.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Other veterans could probably relate. So,
Do you think, I mean, looking back through the years, because I was born in Minnesota, raised in the Twin Cities, and I've known many of the governors over the time. There's some of the governors, like Tim Walz, that wouldn't even think of looking at me if we ran into one another. I don't know what the hell I ever did to him, but apparently not a big fan, I guess, but I give a shit.
I'm a fairly outspoken anti-Walls person on Twitter.
Might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I pretty much can't stand the sight of that man.
Well, the boy should do his job, and they do a lot better.
Oh, he's
That'd be
such a
good.
hypocrite.
He is.
Oh my
Unbelievable.
God.
No, you're right. I mean, whatever. It's not even choosing a political side. He just does a horseshit job. I don't care what the hell he is. But Steve Patterson is in studio with us, ladies and gentlemen, talking about improving the governor's office. And by the way, it's been since Tim Pawlenty that Catherine and I have eaten dinner at the governor's residence. So you better get in there so I can get, we used to have a ball. Herbeck and I played, what's that tabletop game?
Air hockey.
Air
Foosball?
hockey.
Oh,
Yeah, we played air hockey at the governor's residence. It was just a wonderful time. So, Steve, when you get in, I'm going to be knocking on the governor's residence door.
oh yeah, you'll get an invite. You'll get
okay. I have a
Sounds
question.
good.
So let's say you get in there, and have you been keeping up on all of the Department of Human Services that are whistleblowing about the fraud situation in Minnesota?
So I've been somewhat up to date with it. I don't know if anything's happened like in the last week. But I actually used to work for the Department of Human Services
Oh.
for Minnesota.
Oh,
So they would tell us, oh yeah, there's all this money that's supposed to be available for our clients, that you can go take them out to a movie, you can take them out to dinner, whatever. I mean, there's people that were, transitioning between houses for whatever reason. Some were experiencing homelessness, some were experiencing some other things without going into too much detail. But it always seemed like there was supposed to be money and there never was. And it was always kind of suspicious. I mean, that's been almost, that was like 8 years ago when I worked there. But I would totally believe it.
Yeah, well, one of the people that's actually testifying now against Walls, she said that there was retaliation if you said anything about any
Right.
money missing, that you would be actually you could be demoted, fired, that they were all of a sudden looking into your mortgage and your bank accounts. I mean, it's really Gestapo type stuff that they were pulling on these people that were like, hey, what's happening to all this money? Where's it all going? And this is just business as usual, I guess. So when and if, and I'm hoping, if you become governor, how do you even clean up such a corrupt system where, I mean, because the DHS whistleblowers, I think there's around 30 or 40 of them, they said, hey, we're all Democrats. Everybody who works for the state or in the city of Minneapolis, they're all Democrats or even further left of activism. There's nobody that's moderate. There's nobody that is going to try to stop this stuff because a lot of them know about it and are in on it because they want the votes.
Yeah, I mean, it really starts with the leadership. I've told people, that if I get into office, I'm not going to leave a millionaire. You look at, Ilhan Omar is a really good example. She came in
God, yes.
nothing. She's got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell people that we both live in our dream house. She lives in a mansion. I live in a double wide trailer in the middle of a cornfield.
The house of your dreams,
Real
baby.
thing. I mean, I've learned that simple is just the way to go for me. Now, some people aspire to have, the $80,000 trucks and the mansions and whatever.
Right.
For me personally, I'm most fulfilled when I just have time and inner peace. And, I can't have those things if I'm working for somebody else, being told how I can act, how I can talk, if I need to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Simple is good for me.
There's
For people that, might be listening but can't see, I'm in a jeans and t-shirt. That's pretty much my go-to. I mean, I could look like, any of these other jerk offs, and by the the J.C. Penney suit and, try to look like how voters, try to look like a politician. I don't want to be that kind of person,
I think the last time I wore a suit was my wedding.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
there you go.
I just want to be real, and so, like our platform is we want to get rid of income tax, state income tax. And people said, we won't be able to afford that. And then all the fraud stuff came out like a month later. And I was like, you could.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you could, right.
Like, I'll have to reference my notes here, but there's several other states, I think 9 states that don't have income tax.
Well, we know Florida and South Dakota are 2 of them.
Yeah, and then there's Wyoming, Texas, and we are higher in sales tax than everybody except for Wyoming, which is 7%. We're at 6.8 sales tax; they're at 7%, and that's how they avoid income tax is they just have a higher sales tax.
Florida too,
Right.
pretty high sales tax, right?
They do, and it's like I want to say it's like 6.5 off the top of my head. I don't know if that's right, but Florida also relies on tourism.
Yes, it does heavily,
and so does Nevada. That's another one. And
Right.
And I look at Minnesota. It's like we have all these beautiful lakes and state parks and all this stuff. But who's going to say let's go to Minnesota this weekend? When we're in the news every single day.
Yep,
you're right.
Every single day.
I mean, the Mall of America was once so big. The reason there's Japanese all over the in the MSP airport is because Japanese people used to come here by the droves to go to the Mall of America.
They did, yeah.
And
This
why?
They don't do that anymore because the Mall of America has a reputation now.
But you know why they went to the Mall of America is because we don't have sales tax on clothing.
Yep.
And we don't have VAT taxes. So they didn't want to go to Europe where you have to pay 25% VAT tax and then deal with maybe getting some of it back when you're flying out and you have to fill out all these forms and all this stuff. You could just fly here, buy all the clothes you wanted, and the cost was the cost. You didn't have to add on all of these taxes. That's why.
Well, not to mention back then, it was still very cool in Japan to like get American blue jeans and that sort of thing and stuff with like English printed on it, no matter what it says. It's very cool.
Pretty sure that crowd has dried up, though.
You think so?
Well, you can get anything anywhere. Now they can just go on Amazon and buy blue jeans.
Right.
But 30 years ago, that wasn't the case.
That's true.
It is really true. Why do you think it is? And I'm not asking Steve this, but I'm asking everybody else this as well. Is this just like all-star wrestling? Is that what the DFL and the Republicans have gotten to now? This is always a wrestling match and Saturday night at the St. Paul Auditorium. And is most of this just for show to keep your vision somewhere else while they're pissing away all the money?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you can, if you look at COVID, that year, it was always something. There was murder hornets. There was,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
They, just in the last 2 days, the big thing online is, they want everybody to type in, what do I look like in ChatGPT? And now everyone's got new profile pictures of them and caricatures and whatever. And,
God.
Right.
It's just following exactly what they want us to do, and, who knows what they want that information for, maybe they'll use it in some kind of database. I don't know. But yeah, anytime everybody says do this, I pretty much do the opposite.
Yeah. What's a good move, I think.
But back to my point before, it's like, what can you, as a governor, you can have all the ideals in the world, but if you're parachuting into a corrupt system, what happens? I mean, how do you even start digging up all the filth and
you gotta clean
shovel
house.
it out of there?
You got to clean house, and when the FBI and the CIA and everybody else is coming in trying to investigate, you just got to get out of the way. You got to let them do their job.
That's a big thing is, people come into this state and try to clean things up, but then there's a lot of people in very high places saying, no, you can't come in here. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, it needs a total overhaul because anyone that has any authority or ability to, say, hey, what's going on is wrong has not done that, and we can go over policy reform, and that's all available on our website. But that's probably going to take more than what time we have allowed here.
You come back.
Yeah. I can go back tomorrow.
You always can come back whenever you want. I just, like I said, I like offering people options. I think there should be many, many more options in all of our elections because one person running against another person is not enough. So I'm glad you stepped in.
Well, it's like, if I'm hiring for a bartender at my restaurant, if I have 10 options or I have 2 options, what's going to produce the better candidate?
Yep.
More options is always better. And especially with the two-party system, I think it's very corrupt when you look at, how people manipulate the rules and how they are able to raise funds and how they get all the publicity in the newspapers and everything else. There are rules that say that, candidates are supposed to get equal opportunity. I sat and I mean, I don't want to say begged, but I begged to get on the debates in 2022 because, it was Tim and Scott and, it was a couple news stations out of southeastern Minnesota that controlled the one debate, and they opted to have Scott Jensen debate against himself. Then it was bad, and I would argue he lost the debate against himself because they would ask him a question, and he'd totally ignore the question and be like, "Yeah, well, did you see what Tim did the other day?" And it's like,
yeah,
it was kind of a joke.
The whole thing is just. I tell you what, the posts. I've just been looking over. You got people fired up. I guarantee that, Steve, which I think is a good thing. There's no question about that.
So it's also the caucus system, right? That's really
that's messed up.
So how come you can't, as a moderate? Why can't you join both parties as a moderate and caucus through that?
Yeah.
So I could pick either or, but you can't pick both. And so what I did last time is I ran for the grassroots legalized cannabis ticket, and I won that in the primary. This time I want to go the signature route. So there was a bill that was passed. I think it was called HF 2802. And that was up at the state Oval Office the January after. It would have been January 23. And myself and some libertarians and some, weed parties, and Jesse Ventura was there, and during that session, they opted to double the requirements for third parties to get on the ballot, basically to keep people, quote unquote, like me off the ballot. And I was like, that's no problem. We'll just get more signatures, so, but they set you up to fail because the filing period is May 19th to June 2nd. Well, the first weekend I have to get signatures is Memorial Day weekend. It was a 4-day weekend, so everyone's gone, right?
Yep.
Everyone's
gone.
And so now I'm like, all right, I got to go hit up some campgrounds or something to try to find these signatures.
Go up north.
Yeah. So if anyone has any ideas, feel free to reach out because I need I can't do it all myself, but yeah, we'll get the 2,000 signatures. And then Steve Simon has the option to, if I walk in with exactly 2,000 signatures, I'm not going to get on the ballot because he can throw 3 or 4 out.
Oh, yeah.
We don't like that. So, so I want to get like 5,000 signatures, just so that we're safe. We get on the ballot. And then because it is harder to get on the ballot, maybe I'll just get top 3 just by default this time.
Well, there's a lot of people running for governor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
it like
there's
16 or something.
On the Republican side, it was 14. It's down to 13.
Yeah.
One guy dropped out, right? But the interesting thing about that is that, myself and Scott Jensen, to my knowledge, are the only people that are running that have actually been on the ballot before.
Okay.
And been on our show before.
That's right. So I believe the last poll said that Amy Klobuchar is polling at less than 50%, which is kind of
Is she?
shocking. Yeah.
It is shocking.
Yes.
It was close to 50.
It was close to 50, but under 50. And everybody was thinking that she was going to just, be killing it just because of name recognition. The fact that she was a senator and the fact that she toes the party line. I mean, she's just a rubber stamper. That's all she is. She has no new vision. And she was also talking about how wonderful Biden's cognition was right after he basically melted down on national TV. And she was talking, oh, no, he's just absolutely fantastic. I've sat with him for days and days, and he's just sharp as a tack. It's like lying. We all saw him.
She said what she was supposed to say.
I guess that's probably true. I want to run something by you. The listener posted this. They wanted me to ask you this. he made a prediction that in 2031, 5 years from now, the Mall of America will be low-income housing.
God, I wouldn't doubt it. Probably be a daycare center.
That's a big daycare center.
That's you get a whole lot of kids in there.
Are they having a lot of problem?
Start taking EBT then, because you can't get hot food with EBT. So I don't know. The
That's right. That's true.
So are they having trouble out there? Are people not shopping as much as they used to? What's going on?
Yes, it's
It's scary. A
feel
lot
safe.
of people yeah. I wonder if there's official numbers. I wonder if I can find that.
That's kind of sad. That thing cost the Minnesota taxpayers a hell of a lot of money to build, didn't it?
Well, it made Minnesota a lot of money for a long time.
Yeah, it did.
So
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's still making tons of money.
I'm very sure that the people that have been grifting tens of millions of dollars off of Minnesota taxpayers are going into the high-end shops and buying all kinds of, Louis Vuitton and
Could be.
diamonds and all of that stuff.
It could be. I remember last time I was out there, I did an appearance at the Mall of America several years ago, and there was a group of people, I won't say who, but they're not the most popular people in the state. I guess a few thousand of them lined up and tried to block me from entering the building. So I made sure I walked right down the middle of them and made them all get out of the way. It's like, you want to make a point? I'll make a point for you. Get the hell out of the way. I mean, why these people are not even they were not from here, first of all. And most of them, I don't even think got here legally. Why would they step up and go after some disc jockey on KQRS? That makes no sense.
Well, I like to say they like to do anything but clock in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That might be right. We got one more minute with you, Steve, but you are always welcome to come back. Andy loves having you in. We all do, as a matter of fact.
Well, November's fast approaching, so
It sure is.
Yeah, well, the filing period or the signing period is going to be the big part for us. And, and if I could just hit a couple bullet points on my campaign.
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm just going to read the flyer here quick, so I'm going to use my phone. But we want to eliminate state income tax. We're pro-Second Amendment. We're pro-cannabis, pro-choice, pro-small business. And the big thing for us is that we want Minnesota to have the harshest penalty for child abuse.
Yes, thank you.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, the Epstein stuff, like we could talk about that for hours. But I don't care who's on the list. I don't care, it's kind of gross when you look at it. You're like, some people are like, oh, I hope Donald Trump is on the list. And it's like, you're indirectly hoping that like a child got hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's gross. But yeah, we just, we just want Minnesota, Minnesota's full of hard-working, good, honest, tax-paying people.
Yep.
And a very small portion of people are ruining it for us. We're good with immigration. We don't like people who are here for no reason, that aren't working, that aren't contributing. You look at some people come from overseas, they're like, I'm going to make a restaurant and invest in the community and be a part of it and donate to your kid's soccer team and all this stuff. Then there's other people that are just coming here, just literally just stealing money.
Right.
Unbelievable. Well, you got to come back and tell JT to get off his ass and come in with you.
Yeah, well, he was looking forward to it. I know he posted right before I left that he was going to be on the show, and then he said he couldn't make it. But yeah, this was fun. Hopefully, we can get the word out a little bit about the campaign. ModerateMajorityMinnesota.org is where you'll find our policy reform. And when follow the Facebook page when it's time to sign. Help us out, get us on the ballot.
When is this signing period?
May 19th to June 2nd.
Okay.
And you can sign online?
No, because that'd be too easy.
There you go.
I gotta go find 2,000 people, and I got them. But I gotta,
the more the better.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's 10 signatures per page, so I got to walk around with a stack of paper. It's gross. It's awkward. It needs to be better. But we'll make it work because it's important.
I love it. Well, thank you, sir, and come back soon. I like people saying Minnesota needs to be a better state.
Yes.
Tim Walz did so much damage to this state. That man should. What the hell are you doing elected a guy from Nebraska anyway? I mean, he's not even from here.
None of the leaders are from Minnesota.
God, what? Okay.
Fry's not from there. All of them could come from someplace else. They're, in my opinion, they're plants just to
blocks them.
No, just to keep the agenda going.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I just hope Minnesota will get its head out of it. You know how bad Minnesota looks nationally right now? Oh my God! Everybody I run into is
I know, it is
"What the
embarrassing.
hell's going on with your state? That's horrible."
I know,
That's all anyone's talking about.
we know people from all over the world. I mean, literally in our condo, there's people from everywhere. India, a lot of Canadians, England, every place, all over the place. And they're, we say, we're from Minnesota, they go,
They do. It's true.
they are like, what's going on up there? They can't even believe it.
All right, now, Steve, don't look at the screen because it says, "God, what a great guest." Yes, great guest. Don't look at that.
You must
All right.
stay humble.
There you go. Well, Steve, thank you so much. Come back soon. And like I said, I love Minnesota, but I don't like the way it looks right now. It's the worst it's ever been. The people are mean as hell. Why do they want to be so mean? I don't get it.
I think
Nobody
it gets
has an
social.
answer.
I think it gets social media exposure, and that's all
I
they care about
guess.
is their social media goons.
Well, Minnesota nice. Whatever happened to all those signs? Minnesota nice.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make the election about race.
Yes,
and,
they
Of
are.
course they
and,
are. Yeah.
and Trump doesn't do his side any favors when he should just say fraud. He shouldn't say Somalian fraud.
Yeah,
he should just
absolutely.
say fraud. I tell people all
Yeah.
the time, it should be about the action, not the adjective.
Mhm.
What are you doing? I don't care what you look like. Are you a
Exactly.
good person or a bad person?
Yep. Very, very true. Steve, come back soon, Pally.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. We'll be right back right after this, ladies and gentlemen. There's a cruise I've been hearing about. Ooh, there. From my friends at Heart of the North Tours. Sounds amazing to me, as a matter of fact. It's the Alaska Cruise Tour. What is a cruise tour? It's a tour that features a cruise that includes a 7-day Princess Cruise tour of the glaciers. I'd love to see that. Combined with glass-top railway experiences and multiple nights at the Denali Wilderness Lodge, including the land meal package. So you'll visit Denali National Park, Whittier, Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay National Park, and stop in Anchorage, Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. For more information, go to heartofthenorthtours.com or call 1-833-424-2700 to speak to Mike. Are we still going to talk to Mike about maybe fitting in?
Of course we are.
We'd love to go on that tour. Mike said he might have a spot for us. I don't know. We'll have to see. Mike is arranging the amazing tours. It all happens August 8th through the 19th, and there are limited spots available, so book now. It's a trip of a lifetime that you won't want to miss. There you go. God, I tell you, the comment section blew up, man. They loved hearing from Steve. That was very nice.
sure did.
They also have a lot of fond memories of the Mall of America.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah,
why are they
everyone's-
bringing up what's happening to Mall of America? Why are they bringing that up?
Oh, we brought it up because we were talking about how Florida and Nevada make so much of their money through tourism.
Yeah.
And Minnesota used to make a lot of money on tourism, but
Yep.
not so much anymore.
That's really sad. Minnesota, get your head out of your. I was born in Long Prairie, Minnesota, raised in North Minneapolis. I love Minnesota, but I sure as hell don't love seeing what I'm seeing now on national television. We look like a bunch of savages, for Christ's sake.
I really
Yeah, I know. Everyone's just. We literally are the laughing stock of the country right
We
now.
are. We
What's going on.
absolutely are. I will tell you that.
Well,
Petulance our leaders are responding with.
I think his campaign should be tired of this shit show.
Yep.
Vote for me.
All right, Andrew, is that going to do it?
Let's see. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so. Everything is normal.
I do like the fact by as a matter of fact, all these different people like to show up. We've had like 4 or 5 people on the show now that are running for governor. Aren't there
We
like
had Scott
18
Jensen.
people running?
Well, we had Scott Jensen on.
Yeah,
We
good
just
guy,
had
nice
Steve on. We had
Yep.
Nate George. He's running for auditor, not governor.
auditor.
Yes.
Yeah, yep.
Those are the only 3 I can think of that are running for positions in Minnesota right now, unless I'm missing someone, which I could be. Ethan woke up at 4:30 this morning.
Oh my God!
I'm a
Now
little
we're
tired at the moment. I mean, he went back to sleep eventually, but so he has this sound machine, And his cue to wake up is when the sound machine goes off.
Okay.
Turns out at some point last night he had unplugged his sound machine. We didn't know that. And the battery ran out at 4:30. So at 4:30, his sound machine turned off. So he got out of bed, got changed into his daily clothes, and then came into our room and was like, it's time to get up. And we're like, it is not even close to time to get up. What the hell are you doing? But you see, he's at the age where they don't really critically think so much. It's just, my sound machine's off. Time to get dressed and get ready for the day, I guess, even though it's pitch black outside and I'm tired as hell.
I remember one time we took a little trip down to Rochester. And we stayed at like this Airbnb. You didn't come with us, but Alex's kids were very small. And Fawn was old enough to sleep in the other room. And she wanted to sleep in it because it had bunk beds. So she really wanted to sleep in a bunk bed. And it was right next to all the other bedrooms anyway. And I remember I hear this at about 6 o'clock in the morning because at home she had one of those machines that turned green, and that meant she could get out of bed.
That's exactly what we have, yeah.
I hear this, Nana, Nana.
The worst.
And I'm like, it's not time to get up yet, Fawn. She's like, but I'm finished sleeping.
I'm finished sleeping.
But I'm finished.
No, you are not.
Nana.
Oh, I like this one. MB0711. Somebody told her, I don't know, they were told.
She's telling the story about you going to Troy going to the bar.
Oh, yeah, in Mall of America. Yep.
Yeah, he was at the bar, and then this guy went there and tried to get free drinks.
Oh, because he said he was you.
He said he was
That's
me,
right.
He said he was me, and he gave him free drinks.
There's a grifter born every second, isn't there?
Yep. But
Right
now
now-
the chat's talking about what polls are you guys talking about? These are polls for the upcoming caucus, I think they're talking about.
I believe so, yes.
And apparently Lisa DeMuth is winning the polls. Mike Lindell's in third. Someone said who's in second, but I'm going to have to scroll up to see that. It's someone I don't know who Lisa DeMuth is. Is she a Republican? Is she running for Republican?
Yes. Yeah, she's running for Republican. She's been very active on social media, and they're going after her big time because she looks like a front runner right now.
Oh, my God. Is she a black woman?
I think she is
Boy,
of
the
color of some
Democrat-
kind. I don't know what
Democrats
she
are
is.
going to have a bitch of a time with that, aren't they?
No, because anybody that is a Republican doesn't count.
Like Kendall Qualls, too.
Apparently it's
Yeah,
pronounced
the guy.
Damuth, and she
Damuth?
looks like she might be. It's hard to tell.
I'm not sure what she is, but she's definitely
She's half black, half white.
Okay, she's
there you go.
definitely conservative.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
There you have. Well,
I'm tired to death of skin color politics.
Yeah,
I know.
Me too.
For
I
real.
wish
too.
that they could just shut the F up. I don't care what skin color you are. If you're causing chaos and destruction and stealing, then you just got to go. That's it.
It's true.
Well, there's a lot of people out there who, if you're a certain color, you're either instantly good or instantly bad without any other information. That's all they require is the
Yep,
color of you.
absolutely.
It's really getting tiresome.
Well, it started a long time ago. Let's not forget I was called a racist, even though I had 3 black men on my show.
Well,
I will never forget that as long as I live.
Yeah, everybody's conveniently racist.
Yeah, absolutely. They love to play that card.
Yeah.
There's an old episode of The Simpsons from like the mid 2000s, I think, and it's like a flashback episode of Marge going to college. So this would have been in like a parody of like the 80s or 90s, and it did a bunch of parodies of that college culture back then. And one of the scenes I remember is she was in history class, and her college professor shows a picture of the founding fathers. And he's like, "What can you tell me about these men?" And all the kids are like, "They created a system of checks and balances. They wrote the Declaration of Independence." And he says, "Wrong. They're all white, property-owning males." And then he takes his photo and he writes evil on the picture. And this was 20 years ago that they were parodying college professors for acting like that. And it's only gotten 100 times worse since then.
1,000 times worse.
Well,
Yes, it's much worse.
Our education system is trying to destroy this country. There's no question about that.
Well, it's like the story right now about the young child that was snatched from his parents from ICE and held in detention and all this stuff His father ran away from him, left him.
Yep.
They brought the boy to his mother's house, and she slammed the door and would not talk to them. They were trying to give the son to the mother. The mother said, no, get away from me. So they, of course, had to do something with the boy. And so they put him in some sort of care. I don't know. It wasn't a detention facility in a jail. I mean, come on. And that's all they're talking about now is to his mother, who refused to take care of him.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, what a win. So what the Republicans should do is, how about the 300,000 children of color that were coming over the border that the country under Biden just lost?
Yep.
Some of them were trafficked. Some of them were murdered. We don't know where a lot of them went. Some of them we found, but only after Trump became president did we find them. Did anybody even bother looking? So why aren't they just racist against children of color then? That's racism against children of color if you don't care if they've been trafficked. They need to start spinning all of this crap that the Democrats do and start using the exact same tactics against them. Otherwise, there's no way they can win.
But it doesn't work because that's not who their base is. They don't care about that sort of thing.
Well, how can you not care about, disenfranchised children of color being sex trafficked? What kind of monster are you?
Exactly.
No, 'cause, I mean, if they have absolute control over the media, then none of this gets out. No one hears about it.
I think you can say it loud and clear and put it on billboards if you have to. I think you
Put
can
it
get
on
the
some
message
billboards.
out. I really do. I mean, they have to start fighting fire with fire. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
All right. That is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, but we will talk to you tomorrow.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Every time I hear the same reminds me how you talk in my door.